Light tank. Light tanks are designed for speed and agility, prioritizing mobility over heavy armor and firepower. Typically smaller and lighter than other tanks, they are ideal for reconnaissance, rapid strikes, and support roles, excelling in outmaneuvering larger vehicles. These tanks feature thinner armor and less powerful main guns, but excel in tactical mobility and ease of transport. The light tank concept emerged during World War I, with the French Renault FT-17 being a groundbreaking model due to its fully rotating turret. By World War II, the class had evolved with significant models like the American M24 Chaffee, British Mk4, German Panzer I, Soviet T-26, Japanese Type 95 Hago, and French Renault R35. These tanks boasted improved mobility, including amphibious capabilities and airdrop options, along with modular armor, flexible weaponry, and advanced fire control systems. Although light tanks fell out of favor post-World War II, they remained relevant in specialized roles, with models like the US M551 Sheridan and Soviet PT-76. In recent years, new threats and technological advancements have led to a resurgence of light tanks, such as China's Type 15 and Russia's Tu-S-25 SD. In 2023, the US introduced the M10 Booker, a 42-ton combat vehicle with the mobility and versatility of a light tank, signaling renewed interest in agile platforms. Heavy tank. Heavy tanks are renowned for their formidable armor, powerful firepower, and durability. Unlike lighter tanks that prioritize speed and maneuverability, heavy tanks focus on protection and offensive strength. They are designed to withstand significant enemy fire and excel in breaking through fortified positions and leading assaults. The concept of heavy tanks began in World War I with the British Mk1, a large vehicle intended to breach enemy trenches. The German A7V, introduced later, was even heavier and aimed at overpowering enemy positions. Heavy tanks gained prominence in World War II with models like the German Tiger I and II and the Soviet KV and IS series. The Tiger I was renowned for its thick armor and powerful 88mm gun, while the KV-1 and IS-2 featured heavy armor and strong guns, proving effective in combat despite production challenges. In the Cold War era, heavy tanks such as the Soviet T-10, American M103, and British FV-214 Conqueror were developed, but gradually phased out as the main battle tank (MBT) concept evolved. The rise of anti-tank guided missiles and heat ammunition also diminished the tactical advantage of heavy tanks, leading to their replacement by versatile MBTs that balance armor, firepower, and agility. Medium tank. Medium tanks, positioned between light and heavy tanks, provided a well-rounded mix of armor, firepower, and speed. More cost-effective and easier to produce than heavier tanks, they excelled in various combat roles, including infantry support, breakthroughs, and tank versus tank engagements. The concept of the medium tank originated with the British medium Mark A Whippet during World War I, which was smaller and faster than the heavy tanks of the time. During World War II, medium tanks became dominant with iconic models such as the German Panzer IV, Soviet T-34, and American M4 Sherman. The Panzer IV was notable for its adaptability and upgrades. The T-34 impressed with its robust design and sloped armor, and the M4 Sherman was celebrated for its production efficiency and reliability. After World War II, the role of medium tanks evolved into that of main battle tanks. Vehicles like the M46 Patton and T-55 represented this transition, integrating the strengths of medium tanks with enhanced firepower and protection, leading to the gradual phasing out of dedicated medium tanks. Main battle tank. A main battle tank, MBT, is a heavily armored, highly mobile combat vehicle central to modern military forces. Weighing between 40 to 70 tons, MBTs combine superior firepower, protection, and maneuverability. Armed with a 120mm or 125mm main gun, advanced targeting systems, and composite or reactive armor, they are designed to dominate various battlefield roles. The MBT concept was formalized in 1957 at the Tripartite Conference, where American, British, and Canadian military leaders agreed on creating a universal tank to replace World War II-era infantry and cruiser tanks, which lacked sufficient firepower and versatility. The British Centurion, introduced in 1946, is regarded as the first MBT, blending firepower, armor, and mobility into a single platform. In the 1960s, the US introduced the M60, featuring a 105mm gun and thick armor, which served for nearly 60 years before being replaced by the M1 Abrams in the 1990s. The M1 Abrams, developed to counter Soviet tanks like the T-80, proved its strength during the Gulf War, where it destroyed numerous Iraqi tanks with minimal losses. Notable MBTs like Russia's T-90, Germany's Leopard 2, Britain's Challenger 2, China's Type 99, South Korea's K-2 Black Panther, France's Leclerc, and Israel's Merkava continue to shape modern tank warfare. These tanks remain crucial to military forces, with ongoing advancements in mobility, firepower, and survivability, ensuring their relevance in future conflicts. Super heavy tank. Super heavy tanks were designed to exceed the size and weight of conventional heavy tanks, aiming to deliver exceptional protection and firepower. Despite their ambitious designs, these tanks rarely saw combat and remain largely experimental. The concept of super heavy tanks began in World War I with designs like the Russian Mendeleev tank and the British Flying Elephant, which were never built. During World War II, the German Panzer VIII Maus, 188 tons, and the proposed Landkreuzer P 1000 Rat tons exemplified these tanks, though only a few prototypes were completed. The French Char 2C, 69 tons, and other designs like the Tortoise Heavy Assault Tank, 80 tons, also contributed to the genre. After World War II, super heavy tanks fell out of favor due to advancements in armor and the advent of tactical nuclear weapons. Their logistical challenges, including difficulties in transport and deployment, also contributed to their obsolescence. Tankette. Tankettes are small, tracked armored vehicles designed for light infantry support, reconnaissance, and anti-aircraft defense. Smaller than traditional tanks, often the size of a car, they feature minimal armor and firepower, typically armed with machine guns or occasionally autocannons. The tankette concept emerged after World War I as a way to provide mobile, lightly armored infantry support. In 1925, British pioneer Giffard Lequesne Martel developed a design that led to the Carden-Loyd Tankette, which influenced later models like the Bren gun carrier. Italian, Soviet, and Japanese forces extensively used tankettes in the 1930s and 1940s, with notable examples being the Italian L-333 and L-335, the Soviet T-27, and Japanese Type 94 and Type 97. By the end of World War II, tankettes became largely obsolete due to their vulnerability and limited effectiveness. However, the concept was revived in the 1980s with Germany's Weasel AWC, designed for airborne reconnaissance, which remains in service today. Infantry tank. An infantry tank was a heavily armored, slow-moving vehicle designed to support infantry, particularly during World War II. Unlike faster tanks, infantry tanks prioritized protection and fire support over high-speed maneuvers. They served as a shield for infantry, enabling them to advance through no man's land. The concept originated in the 1930s, with the British Matilda first being one of the first. Introduced in 1938, its successor, the Matilda II, was notable for its effectiveness in early war campaigns due to its superior armor. Other significant models included the British Churchill, known for its versatility and heavy armor, and the French Hotchkiss H-35 and Renault R-35. By the end of World War II, the development of faster and more versatile tanks, like the British Centurion, which could perform both infantry and cruiser roles, rendered the infantry tank concept obsolete. Cruiser tank. The cruiser tank was a British design from the interwar period, created for rapid, effective assaults on enemy lines and infrastructure. It emphasized a balance of speed and firepower. The first significant model was the 1937 A-10 Cruiser Mk1, a 12-ton tank with cannons and machine guns capable of 25 miles per hour. This was followed by the Mk5 Covenanter, Mk6 Crusader, and Mk7 Cavalier. The Mk8 Cromwell, introduced in 1944, was notable for its 27-ton weight, 6-pounder gun, 2 Besa machine guns, and a 600-horsepower engine that allowed speeds of up to 45 miles per hour. However, the cruiser tanks, including the Cromwell, struggled against heavily armored German tanks like the Tiger and Panther. This led to a shift in British tank design towards the universal tank concept, epitomized by the Centurion. Flame tank? Flame tanks are specialized armored vehicles equipped with flamethrowers, designed to breach fortifications and obstacles. Originally experimental during World War I, flame tanks saw significant development in World War II, with the United States, Germany, the Soviet Union, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom producing various models. Early models included the Soviet KHT-26 and Italian CV-3LF. Notable World War II examples are the British Churchill Crocodile, which used an armored trailer for fuel, and the American M reinforced Sherman variants like the M4A3R5, effective in Pacific battles. German and Italian models, such as the Panzer II Flam and L6LF, also saw use but with mixed results. Post-World War II, the use of flame tanks declined. The last major model, the M132 armored flamethrower based on the M113, was used during the Vietnam War. Today, flamethrowers have been largely replaced by advanced incendiary weapons like thermobaric devices, which provide greater efficiency and safety. Specialist tank. Specialist tanks are armored vehicles tailored for specific roles beyond traditional combat. They include features for tasks such as bridging gaps, clearing mines, or amphibious operations. For example, the M60 AVLB is a bridge-laying tank that deploys a 60-foot bridge for troops and vehicles. The Soviet PT-76 is a light amphibious tank capable of navigating water at speeds up to 6 miles per hour, ideal for wet environments. During World War II, the concept of specialist tanks advanced significantly, especially during the Normandy invasion, Operation Overlord. Percy Hobart developed a fleet of specialized tanks based on Churchill and Sherman models, known as Hobart's Funnies. Notable examples include the Churchill Crocodile, which featured a flamethrower with a 150-yard range for clearing enemy positions. The Churchill Armored Vehicle Royal Engineers, equipped with fascines for crossing ditches and bobbins for creating roadways, and the Sherman Crab, an M4 Sherman fitted with a mine flail to clear mines and barbed wire.